Hey, what's going on? Eric Zubik here, covering more of your Goofs. Now, I had a switcheroo going on last week, but I think I'm finally ready for this one. But yeah, today it's James and the Trouble with Trees. I mean, I could have done James Bond with this, but whatever. Let's head down to the gloomy scene at the quarry of Sodor, where there's dirtyings and whatnots, but let's get to it now.
Thomas the tank engine had been working in the coal yards all day. The little blue engine was covered in coal dust. "We can't clean you up tonight, Thomas," said his driver. "There's a problem with the hose pipe." "Bother," said Thomas. "A bath would make me feel much better. The others are sure to say I look silly." But the engines were too busy arguing to notice Thomas. James was talking loudest of all. "I deserve a new coat of paint. Sir Topham Hatt says I'm the pride of the line, and—" "Rubbish," huffed Henry. "We're all the pride of the line." It's been...
Oh, Henry's right eye looks a bit wider than the left eye. I mean, it's kind of weird, don't you think?
"Like this all day," confided Percy to Thomas. "James is getting a new coat of paint and won't stop boasting about it." "Why, James? I'm the one who needs a new coat. Look at me." "I'd rather not," retorted James. "You're not a pleasant sight. And..."
Yeah, I mean, I can understand James's point. That Thomas's face is crooked. And wait a minute, is that wonky eyes on Percy I see?
"I wouldn't understand the needs of a really important engine." Thomas was fuming. Next morning, as James was being repainted, Henry had an accident.
By the way, when Henry's shunning the trunks, it comes from a dead end.
"If you can't push cars properly, Henry, why not talk to a tree instead? You..."
Oh, one of the workmen's face is on backwards.
"Know how much you like the forest." "As a matter of fact, bossy boiler, Sir Topham Hatt is inspecting the island for trees that are too close to the line. He's worried they might cause trouble." "Ha!"
Yeah, it's not the only thing you should be worried about. How about the earthquake right now?
Laughed James. "If I came upon a tree, I'd just push it aside." "Really?" Henry replied. Soon James was showing off his paintwork. "Make way for an important engine." "You wouldn't feel important if one of those trees crashed on you. You'd feel hurt," reproached Percy. "Rubbish! It wouldn't dare." "You should be careful, James. Trees can be just as powerful as engines," advised Terence. "Oh, please. Now, excuse me, Sir Topham Hatt needs me to pull the express." And he huffed away. But James was
absolutely wrong, because that's not an express. Those are branch line coaches.
wrong. "You must go to the yards and collect an important goods train, James. It's heavy, so be careful," said Sir Topham Hatt. "But, sir, I've just been repainted. Can't Thomas or Percy do it? They're dirty and like working with freight cars." "Really useful engines don't argue."
Speak for yourself, moron. And also, there's a goof. The platform is leaning backwards.
So James didn't. By the time he arrived at the yards, the weather had changed for the worse. "Your color's nice, James. Pity about your face, though," said a freight car. James ignored them and set off. Soon they came to a hill, and his driver knew they were
in on some tricks. The trucks are missing their faces. And now here's where the Goofs really start going.
For a difficult time. An old tree close to the track was being blown by the strong winds, and the rain had weakened the slope. All of a sudden, the tree moved.
Okay, we can see the end of the set. James's brake pipe is crooked. And in the next shot, his face will be dry. Well, I mean, his face is currently dry, but the next shot, next close-up, it's going to be wet. And by the way, the pulling truck and the pulling track act wheel has been derailed. Let me see if there's more.
Oh, help! Cried James. Go away! But of course, the tree couldn't. James tried to reverse away from the tree, but his train was too heavy. Then he heard a whistle. It's Thomas, called his driver. James felt embarrassed and worried that Thomas would laugh at him, but Thomas didn't. He knew this was no time for teasing. Beep, beep. I'm ready, whistled Thomas. So am I, replied James. As ready as I'll ever be. They were just in time.
Oh, Thomas's driver's head actually moved on its own. A white light can be seen in the top left corner. They must have gotten rid of it in this re-edit. I don't know why. Oh yeah, the past close-up, the tree was behind him. And now the tree's standing up again.
Later, Jane...
And now Thomas is covered in coal dust again.
Spoke to Thomas. Percy and Terence were so right to warn me. Thank you for rescuing me, Thomas. Oh, that's all right. We engines must pull together, whatever the weather. Just then, Edward bustled in. Sir Topham Hatt thinks you're both brave engines. Thomas, you're going to have a new coat of paint. And James, Sir Topham Hatt says that tomorrow you'll pull the Special Express. Everyone was very happy.
And that's the end of the story. If I missed any goofs, leave a comment down below. And I feel like I might be missing one, speaking of which. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed. Do not forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. And turn on all post notifications so you will not miss a single upload. This has been Eric Zuick signing off for now. Catch you guys at the next station where we head back to the narrow gauge. All aboard!